We are a few weeks away from the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, and there's a lot of hype and excitement for the new console. However, there's a lot of accessories for consumers to choose for their Switch 2 system, ranging from controllers, cases, cameras, and more. In this video, I'll be guiding you through some of the more essential accessories that you would need to get for your Switch 2, and to make this easier, this video will cover the type of accessories in 4 different categories, which are controllers, system protection, external storage expansion, and cameras. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge to know which Switch 2 accessories that you would most definitely need so that you can make your informed purchase. Keep in mind that while a lot of these accessories are already out, many more, especially the ones that are covered in this video, will not be out until June 5th when the Switch 2 system is out, or shortly thereafter. The links to all of these accessories covered in this video will be linked in the video description. With that said, let's get started. Let's begin by talking about the controllers that you would need to get. The Switch 2 has a new set of Joy-Con controllers dubbed the Joy-Con 2, which is significantly different than the regular Switch Joy-Con, as they're bigger in every aspect, adding the C button for game chat, the newly enhanced and improved HD Rumble 2, and the biggest feature, a built-in mouse sensor in each controller, allowing you to use both Joy-Con 2 controllers as a mouse in compatible games. Nintendo has also made a brand new Pro controller for the Switch 2, which may look like a regular Switch Pro controller, but adds in new features like the C button in HD Rumble 2 that's on the new Joy-Con 2 controllers, but also adds 2 back buttons that can be mapped to specific button commands in each game, as well as a 3.5mm audio jack, allowing you to connect your headphones to the controller itself. However, both of these options are quite expensive, with the Pro controller costing $85 and the pair of Joy-Con 2 controllers costing $95. In the case of the Joy-Con 2 controllers, these are the only option for Switch 2 specific Joy-Con right now. Since one pair is included with the system itself, I would recommend getting another pair if you're planning to do any local 4-player gaming session, as like before, each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as an individual controller in landscape mode. When it comes to alternative Switch 2 Pro controllers, there is one officially licensed alternative made by Hori, called the HORIPAD Turbo, which only costs $50 and adds more button remapping options than Nintendo's own Pro controller, as well as turbo functions allowing for rapid fire input speeds of either 5, 10, or 20 inputs per second. We also have another officially licensed alternative, this time from PowerA, called the Advantage Wired Controller, where it's just like the Pro controller with the C button, audio jack, and remappable back buttons, but what set this apart is its Hall effect joysticks that helps with precision and longevity from drifting, all for only $40, which makes it the cheapest Switch 2 specific controller. However, both alternatives have its drawbacks, as you can only use it wired docked to the TV, and it also doesn't support HD Rumble 2, motion controls, and Amiibo. But if you're upgrading from the original Switch to the Switch 2 and have many regular Switch Joy-Cons and Pro controllers lying around, you'll be happy to know that just like the original Switch games, they will also work with the Switch 2, which means that you can save a lot of money by using those instead of buying Switch 2 specific controllers. Keep in mind that you will need to get an original Joy-Con charging grip or charging station if you plan to use the original Switch Joy-Cons, as they can't physically attach to the Switch 2 itself. Now let's talk about system protection. Like any mobile device, you would want to protect your Switch 2 as much as you possibly can. Quite frankly, there are a ton of options ranging from slim to heavy duty cases from multiple different companies. Now, if you're looking for a basic case and screen protector, go with the one that Nintendo makes, since you're getting both the carrying case and screen protector in one package. However, if you really care about protecting your Switch 2 from any major damage, you'll have to go with a different brand. When it comes to screen protectors, there are many more options available, but I would recommend going for any glass screen protectors that would include an application tray or guide to help you apply your screen protector, as well as ones that include multiple screen protectors in case you happen to mess up applying one, which would likely happen, or if you want to have backup screen protectors in case you damage one out of a moment's notice. I'll have the Amazon link to some of these options in the description below, and they are already shipping them out to customers before the Switch 2's launch. Now, if you're looking for a case that offers full protection of your Switch 2, accessibility to all of the Switch 2 features, and providing a more ergonomic grip whenever you're playing in handheld or tabletop mode, there's one option to look at: which comes from the brand of all companies, which is their Switch 2 Killswitch case. Don't worry, despite being named the Killswitch, it does everything but kill your Switch 2, as it offers full protection of the console itself, full ergonomic grips for the Joy-Con 2 controllers that can still detach from the console and case itself, a cutout in the back for the Switch 2's built-in kickstand allowing you to still use the Switch 2 in tabletop mode, a game card holder that would hold up to 10 game cards, as well as a travel cover that can handle over 100 pounds of crush-proof protection. It also comes with a custom-built dock adapter that preserves the OEM cooling, maintains the 4K 60 frames per second output, and turns your dock into a console stand. The brand is targeting to launch their Killswitch case alongside the Switch 2 launch this June, and you can pre-order the case for $3, which guarantees priority access at launch, as well as a $3 discount off your final purchase when it becomes fully available. The link to the brand's Killswitch case will be linked in the description below. Now let's talk about external storage expansion. The Switch 2 will offer 256GB of internal storage, which is 8 times more than the 32GB of internal storage that was on the original Switch, and 4 times more than the OLED Switch's 64GB. But it may not be enough because a lot of games are getting bigger not only in scope, but also in file size, and it also doesn't help that a majority of third-party games releasing physically are coming on game key cards, which essentially don't contain the full game data on the cartridge and forcing you to download the full game to your system with the added requirement of inserting the physical cartridge every time you want to play it, meaning that it will be necessary to add more storage. The Switch 2 will be using the MicroSD format, but it's only compatible with MicroSD Express cards and not with any regular MicroSD cards, because the data speeds are theoretically much more faster than older SD cards, which is primarily aiming for speeds that are equivalent to SSDs. Now, they are more expensive than regular MicroSD cards, and unfortunately, Nintendo is not allowing any wiggle room for regular MicroSD cards on Switch 2, as you can only use it for loading screenshots and videos that you took on your original Switch on your Switch 2. There are multiple MicroSD Express options, as the Nintendo Switch 2 has been bringing up hype for these cards to exist. One of them is launching alongside the Switch 2, which is the official Nintendo 256GB MicroSD Express card from Samsung. This card is the only one being sold directly by Nintendo, as it has their official seal of approval, as well as the Mario emblem and red color on the card itself. This card costs $60, and unfortunately, they don't list the exact data speeds of that particular card, and it will be a mystery until the Switch 2 is out. Our next options come from SanDisk, who has become the most recognized and reliable brand for SD cards. They offer 2 MicroSD Express cards at either 128GB or 256GB, and both offer data reading speeds up to 880 megabits per second. However, both of their cards saw a price increase recently, with the 128GB costing $54 and the 256GB costing $72. This actually makes the official Nintendo option seem like a good deal. However, PNY just announced their line of MicroSD Express cards for the Switch 2. Just like SanDisk, they're offering a 128GB and 256GB options, but not only are their options 10 megabits per second faster than SanDisk's, but also cheaper, costing $45 and $56 respectively. But if you want the best MicroSD Express cards in terms of the highest data reading speeds and capacity, the Play Pro series from Lexar is for you. Not only do they offer a 256GB option like everyone else, they also offer a 512GB option and also the world's first 1TB MicroSD Express card. All 3 options have speeds up to 900 megabits per second, making it the fastest options out there. Their 256GB option is $50, which makes it the cheapest 256GB MicroSD Express card. But their 512GB and 1TB cards are the most expensive, costing $100 and $200 respectively. But that hasn't stopped people from buying it, as all of Lexar's Play Pro cards have been out of stock on Amazon pretty quickly after making them available after the April 2nd Direct, and I was able to snag both their 512GB and 1TB cards as soon as I heard about them. Now, if you really want their 1TB MicroSD Express card, your best bet is to order it through Adorama, which has it on back order until July, and I'll have that linked in the description below. However, if you want a microSD express card that's 512 gigabytes, Walmart's On brand recently made one in stock on their website for $66, making it the cheapest option for 512 gigabyte microSD express cards. This final category is cameras. The camera functionality is one of the biggest features of the Switch 2 that Nintendo is pushing hard, especially as it's incorporated into game chat, as well as some games like Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree. While theoretically you can use any camera that's connected via USB-C, it's best that you go for cameras that were specifically made for Switch 2 until more testing is in place. The first is Nintendo's own camera, which sports a wide-angle lens that can be freely adjusted so that everyone can get in on the action no matter the room size, along with a high-sensitivity image sensor that can automatically adjust the brightness to detect faces, all in a compact size that makes the camera easy to move and place wherever you need it to be, and also includes a built-in privacy shutter. This camera costs $55. These next two cameras come from Hori, which are officially licensed by Nintendo. The first is their standard USB-C camera, which pretty much functions the same as Nintendo's own camera, but it has a base that is much more suited to put on a TV or monitor, and the camera is also detachable, allowing you to plug the camera directly on top of the USB-C port of the Switch 2, which makes it great for use on handheld and tabletop modes. Hori's second camera is the same as before, but it's designed to look like a piranha plant in a warp pipe, which makes it much more cooler looking than the other two cameras. Both of Hori's Switch 2 cameras cost $60, which is $5 more than Nintendo's own camera. And with the added flexibility for an actual TV mount, as well as more portable play with this camera, it seems like Hori's cameras are a no-brainer, until you realize about the quality of the camera lens. The lens on Nintendo's camera has a max resolution of 1080p, whereas both of Hori's camera lenses have a max resolution of 480p. Now, the 480p resolution is feasible for game chat, as not everyone will have a stable internet connection to maintain the 1080p resolution on Nintendo's camera. But for local play that involves the camera, the lower resolution is a lot more noticeable. However, the cameras are more of a gimmick accessory at the end of the day, and you probably won't need it anyway, but it will enhance your Switch 2 experience in some ways. And now we come to the end of the video. All of the accessories that were mentioned in this video will be linked in the description below. I hope that this video has helped you in providing more insight into what Switch 2 accessories that you need to get. And if it did, why not give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, as I've been putting out a bunch of Switch 2 videos lately in short form fashion. You can check those videos out in a playlist of all things Switch 2. And until then, happy gaming, and I'll see you at the Switch 2 launch.